Hello and welcome to this new blog post where I want to give you an insight into process mining that is done with primary data. So let's have a short look at my agenda. First, I will try to introduce you with different ways how to get the data that you need for process mining. Then I will have a look at the production process, and I set something up with Lego robots to simulate a production process. And then I will close with a short summary. So let's get started. And what I want to discuss first are different methods to deal with process mining. So typically, and that's what is called method A, is you have a system. It can be an ERP system, can be anything, where you get some data. And the data is usually distributed in different tables, in different forms, wherever. It's really a huge mountain of data. And then you try to prepare it in a way that you can run a process mining analysis on this data. The problem with that is you use secondary data because the data is already there. It's just distributed in different tables. And to prepare it, it's really a tedious task. You need to prepare the data. You need experts to explain you what's going on. Maybe you have some missing data and you have to fill the gaps and so on. So that's the first method that we have. Then a second method, and that's what I showed you in this post here, is you can use Power Automate flows. So for example, if you have a sales order, if you have a purchase order, if you have an HR process, something in your indirect areas that you handle with the support of Power Automate flows, then you can directly use primary data, because you have the data that is needed for process mining recorded with the execution of the flows. So you do not need to look into different tables and try to figure out, hey, what is that, and interpret this thing. No, because you all have what you need available. Of course, what is different and what needs some kind of changes, you need to integrate these Power Automate flows into your systems, and that might require a kind of process change, and also you need some kind of Power Platform expertise. But once you have that available, you can just use the standard pipelines and then create a single combined process mining analysis for all of the different flows, that basically support a single process. And as I said, have a look at this blog post if you do not remember how this can be done. And then what I want to show you today is the method C, where we have a look at production process. And well, we do not produce cars, but maybe something else. And whenever you produce something in a special station, you have cameras, you have sensors, you have some devices that measure how the production process is going on. And that's what I will do. I have some IP cameras that record the different steps. It's the most accurate one because I know exactly what time a production process was started, what happened, when it ended, and so on. The disadvantage is, of course, that you need additional tools. You need this equipment, you need the sensors. And from an IT perspective, you need OCR, AI functionalities to prepare or get the data, hold the data basically, so that you can analyze it in process mining. And my production process is actually, as I said, not that complex. Let me quickly show you. So I have a little demo. So I have 3 production stations because I only have 3 cameras, so 3 sensors, so to say. I have a first station that can be the assembly of something, and a second station here that can be a final check before the goods are moved to the customer. And then I have here a third station that is here in kind of green. Well, this one might be something where you need to double check something, or where something needs to be checked again because maybe somebody identified a problem here in production station 1. So basically, the ideal flow is from this station to this one and then to the customer. In case something happens, the unhappy path is from production station 1 to 3 and then to the customer. And the whole equipment that you will not be able to see is basically here. So I have here my cameras or sensors, and here I have my roboter or conveyor belt control. And of course I'm using Lego robots because I like to play with them. But now let's have a look at how this works and how easy it is to get this up and running. Okay, so I'm here now in my hobby room, and what you see is basically the program that I use to control my robot or my conveyor belt or whatever you have in production. And what I will do is I will just press this button, which will move the robot to the first production stage. So it should make a sound. I hope you heard that one. And once the robot moves to the first production stage, the sensor triggers and we should get an email in a couple of seconds. And this email should contain a picture. Maybe let's have a look. It should contain a picture, that's from my previous run, of the robot. What happened? So here I can see production station 33. Well, it's basically a paper because I did not have a proper LED board or something. So that was recorded. You see here the production station, and here you have the timestamp. And with this information, you can then go on and process it. So how is it processed? Well, the thing here is I'm using the standard AI models. And that's from a test recording that I made. You see here, it comes from the camera station, you have a timestamp here, and you have the production order here. And with this information, you can then use a Power Automate flow. So this one here, to grab and extract the data and put it in a Dataverse table. So that's what I'm doing here with this flow. And then my production orders, they end up here. So I have here the production order, which is the case ID. I have the start time basically of a production order, and then you see here the different stations or activities that are done. And with this data I have everything that I need to run my process mining analysis, and that's what I have done here. So you can see that I have here, let's do a couple of runs. So I have 28 runs, 28 production processes that were executed. The first station is always station 1. Before it goes either to station 2, if everything is okay, or if some rework is required, so some fixing of problems that were identified here, you go to station 3 and then to the customer. And just using the standard tools and adding this to, or combining it with the data that you create in Dataverse or somewhere else, you can get this great analysis and then see what happens in your production, where are possible bottlenecks. And of course, if you do not have only 3 sensors or cameras, but a lot more, you get even deeper insights into what's going on. Okay, that's it for my demo so far. Let me go back to my PowerPoint for some important remarks and things you have to look out for. Okay, so after this really short demo of my super production process, let's have a look at a short summary. So what I try to explain you here is, whenever it's possible for you, try to use data that you directly take from the source. And this can be different ways how to do it. So if you deal with management process or support processes, where you have accounts payable, accounts receivable processes, where you do something in HR, then try to use Power Automate flows, integrate them into your business processes, no matter if you use a Dynamics 365 ERP system, SAP system, Oracle, or whatever. Why? Because you have the different actions, you have the different timestamps, you have the different cases already available here, and can do your process mining analysis. If you are in the direct areas, so where you produce something, where you have warehouse processes, try to use sensors, try to use IP devices, such as I did, and then use our AI functionality to extract the data that you can directly ingest into process mining. And you do not need to do conversions or data preparations, which saves you a lot of money and time. Okay, that's what I want to share with you. So thanks again for watching and listening. And as usual, if you have questions, just send me an email or leave a comment on one of the sites that I listed here. Thanks again, and then till next time.